Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're at the 2023 Madison County Fair Demolition Derby, and we're going to be starting right up the front on this Prelude. We're going to try to make it a little bit quick just because, well, the grandstands are already starting to fill up pretty quick here. But let's go ahead and get this Prelude started. Today we got right up front vans, there's some more vans and trucks back there. This right here is a Kia Sedona. I'm not sure what the heck this guy's doing with the big... Alright, yeah, he's just getting through. But looks like I already pre-ran a little bit. Sedona. These front frames look pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. We'll see how it holds up today. It's a pretty decent bumper to put on the front of that. I would not hesitate with that frame looking the way it is. It's a pretty beefy looking frame. I like it. The second one here is a Honda Pilot. We'll see how this thing holds up. 3.5s, they take heat pretty well from what I remember, just from watching Honda Odysseys, same thing, at least for the motor wise. I believe the transmission's the same too, if I'm not mistaken. But other than the bumper, they're pretty bone stock. But we got a Dodge Caravan here, obviously. I got some nice thick mud flaps on that. Got a nice pointy bumper on that. Pretty nice bumper up here, welded on. Van's pretty built, but this one's a real clean van. We'll see how this thing does. I think this one's going to be a real competitor here. Hopefully he doesn't lose axles. For some reason these Dodges like to lose axles pretty easily, actually. It's kind of weird, but we'll see how it holds up. We got one of these Malibus. I believe this is... Am I wrong on that? I can't remember. This is, I mean, the Malibu front frame and everything. This actually ran against me in San Filippo and ran here last year, if you guys remember. This is actually a convertible. You can take this top off, but they have it on there, chained down right there. Don't know if that's enough chains, but we'll see. This is the third time it's ran, and each time he hasn't been able to get it to bend too much. The back end is so reinforced, so I just keep using the back end because it's so reinforced there. He's got ratchet straps, I believe, going under the floor and holding up the gas tank. But this guy's actually running in economy because this year in bone stock they did not allow you to change the factory front bumper. So if you change that factory front bumper, you run economy compact. And sure enough, that guy's running economy compact against the Camrys and stuff. So we'll see how it does in that one. I got a Malibu right here. I actually believe this to be a Pontiac. I can't remember which designation it is from model, but can't remember off the top of my head. But either way, we'll move on. Got a Malibu, as I just previously mentioned, a Ford Focus. We don't like them. Yeah, these cars for some reason they just don't hold up well. The front frames like to kick sideways. The axles like to pop out like nothing else. These Malibus are actually quite decent if you can keep the aluminum spindles in them from breaking, but other than that, they're pretty decent. Pretty decent back ends, pretty decent front ends. They're not too bad. Let's go ahead and go start with the full size and we'll work our way over this way. We actually got a decent amount of bone stock. I believe this to be a bone stock full size, if I'm not mistaken. Might be more of a modified class, but somebody's gonna have to let me know what this thing is in the comments below. Behind that we got a Crown Victoria. Bumper looks already bent downwards, but we'll see how that holds up. Got obviously not a 4.6 in it. That's a carbureted something in there. Gas tank inside, not underneath the car. This is more of a... It looks like a bone stock full size. More bone stock type build. Got a Ford Crown, or let's see, would this be a Ford LTD Country Squire, or Ford Crown Victoria LTD? I can't remember whether they were using the Crown Victoria LTD with the wagons or not. I just can't remember, guys. It's been I'm not as familiar with these full size cars. So people are just gonna have to let me know in the comments below if I say I don't know what it is. Just let me know down below because I am interested in knowing, obviously. Got another LTD here, Crown Victoria. There it is, LTD Crown Victoria. I think that's the not the model, but rather the like the trim model is Crown Victoria. Got a Crown Vic right here. So, well, a lot of Ford products in this lineup here, which can't say I'm very surprised about that. This one's more built than the others for sure. Some 9-wire on the ground. Big old cage in this one. Seat, custom seat. This is also another Ford, I believe. Oh no, this is not Ford. This is a Dodge. This is a Dodge product, guys. Crown Vic. And a GM. You can tell by just the way that it is. A lot of people tucking these trunk lids like it. Glad they allow that. Let's go ahead and start from the back of these. These are bone stock cars. A lot of Camrys. A lot of bone stock Camrys. I'm surprised. We got 5W all the way back here. I expect there's a Subaru down there. I don't know if they're gonna have him run or not. It's getting pretty late to get in line here. Only got 3 lug nuts on that rear wheel. And 1 semi-tight lug nut on this wheel. So I would not be surprised if these rear wheels fall off. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, this is a rusty Camry. Got some rust going on right there. Huh. Another Camry, bone stock Camrys. Just a few of them in a row here. Looks like pretty quick builds, but you know, Camrys, even though they're maybe quick builds, they're still decent. This one looks cleaner than the rest as far as that goes. This is earlier 90s body style Camry. If anybody doesn't know, I mean, that's like the only car ran basically nowadays is the Camrys and some other cars, basically. That's the designation I'll use. I got a Cavalier. This is what used to be ran before the Camrys. But now you see less and less of them in bone stock. They're just fine, except being ran against Camrys, then they're probably screwed. But, you know, it's Demolition Derby. You never know who might win. Got a newer style Camry here with what looked like W-body wheels on it. Surprised they got those on. Didn't know that bolt pattern was the same. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they aren't. It isn't. Let's see. So it's got this one obviously already ran once, it looks like, but pretty pretty straight in the front end there. Got pretty built cage and everything for bone stock. I'm actually kind of surprised they allowed that much of a cage in there. And then you'll see the absolute opposite, not as built, no cage, under the carb gas tank. This looks like, what is this? Is this like a rodeo or something? Rondo? Yeah, Kia Rondo. Huh. I don't remember ever seeing one of these built or derby before, so we'll see how that does. Got a Dodge Stratus. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Chrysler Cirrus, so that family of car. These are decent. It's got the 2.7 in it. That I'm not a big fan of, but we'll see how it holds up. These are pretty decent cars, especially if they're clean. This one don't look too bad. Got a pretty... I like the way these are set up. You can see how flat that floor is. It looks strong. These cars are known for being strong in the back, though. Got a Mazda right here. Got a Mazda, you know. Ooh, that's a rusty front bumper. Holy cow. We'll see how that holds up. That's a pretty rusty front bumper there. Camry backing up now. Got another, what is this thing? A Elantra? Hyundai Accent. Did I say Elantra? I don't know, guys. The heat's getting to me, I think. Chevrolet Cruze. My phone's going off as well, so kind of distracted here. Just trying to get through this. It's pretty hot for me today. Got a Chevrolet Cruze, as I just said. You know, one ran here last year, and it did pretty decent. We'll see how this one does. It's looped, so that's good. That's probably the best thing to do to that, especially with the factory front bumper on it. Got an Audi here. This is interesting. I don't remember what model this is. Maybe like A5 or something like that. A3. Let's see. A4. I was close, but then again, I wasn't right. So got a aluminum bumper on the front of this, obviously factory, I'm assuming. Interesting front. Looks like it's more old-fashioned with those shocks there. We'll see how that holds up. I could tell that's probably turbocharged. We'll see how that holds up. Got another Ford Focus here. You know how I feel about those. I just stated it. Got a Impala, almost just like mine, actually exactly like my gold Impala with the, this looks like the cloth top. Yeah, this was a cloth top car. That's interesting. Very interesting indeed. We'll see how this thing holds up. I just bought myself the same kind of car, so we'll see how it holds up in the back end. I doubt it's as rusty as mine is. So we'll see. And then this front car here.
I'm not gonna argue. I don't care. I'm not gonna argue. Listen,
is a Subaru. Right here. Obviously with the boxer engine, we'll see how that holds up. I know these Subarus are very popular in the Vermont area. Got another van here, 55X. Sienna. These are kind of becoming the king of the van world because they have a front frame of a Camry in the front. So, I mean, go figure. Got a, what looks to be a Dodge Dakota behind that. This is a Dodge Dakota. 4-door Dodge Dakota. So that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen a 4-door Derby before, but they seem to hold up okay. It depends on how rusty they are, of course, but a lot of people like these. We'll see how it does today. We got an S10 behind that. We'll see how this thing holds up. I know that this thing is pretty kind of rusty through there, so we'll see. I believe this is running against the vans, so we'll see. Look at this bumper. Yeah, that thing, I don't think that thing's coming off. I could eat my words, but I don't think this thing's coming off. These are pretty decent. I've seen these ran, and actually, I think one ran against a van, and sure enough, it won its heat. Got a Honda Accord right here. Other than the upper ball joints, the front frames on these are very good. Obviously, it's a Honda, so it takes heat very well. Got a Dodge Stratus type vehicle right here. Very heavy front bumper. I'm not sure how that's going to hold up. These frames aren't the same as the later ones, obviously, so we'll see how it holds up. It's got plates in the frame, so we'll see. Obviously, you already know how I feel about the backs if you watched earlier. These backs are pretty decent. Well, this looks like this is a Volkswagen, I believe. I believe this to be a Volkswagen. Am I wrong about that? This is definitely pre-ran for sure. I could be wrong, I could be right. It kind of looks like a Volkswagen, if I were to guess. Nice. I've been being told about this car, and sure enough, that's what he's running in the back. You know, I guess this is Brookfield, guys. This is Brookfield. This is pretty normal, and everybody knows this guy. Everybody's familiar around here with this guy. This is Dylan Archer's car. This is got to be obviously a 90s Camry. This car was going to be ran about, I think, a month and a half ago now, but the Derby got canceled, so he brought it here for the Economy Compact. I would expect to see him do quite well today. He usually runs, even his rustiest Camrys seem to be pretty clean. So compared to what I run junk, just like you guys saw my Impala that I just picked up. That thing's junk, so we'll see. I got to get me a Camry pretty soon here. Here's a Chevy Silverado. We'll see. Let's see what's he running against. I guess two other trucks. Got an Expedition behind that. Let's go ahead and take a little bit better look at this Silverado, if he changed the front bumper or not. Yes, he did.
Pushed up so much, it is tough coming.
We'll see how this thing does. It's kind of be interesting. I think the front suspensions in these are kind of junky, but the rear frames are pretty decent. Expeditions are pretty decent as well, as long as they're not too rusty, which this one doesn't look too terrible. See how this thing holds up. Always got advantage with this full box rear end because it's just more metal to crush. So, or crush the opponent rather, as long as they're in a truck or something. Got behind that another one of these Jeeps. Jeep Grand Cherokee. Or I should say, I think this one's, yeah, Grand Cherokee. And it's just the front, stock front bumper on this one. And you see the height difference between the Expedition and the Jeep. Hopefully he can protect this front end. It's a pretty rusty looking Jeep at that, so we'll see. But I think that's pretty much going to conclude our Prelude. The turnout today is pretty decent, so we're pretty happy about that, of course. So we'll go ahead and end on this one. Alrighty guys, stay tuned for some Demolition Derby action coming up pretty quick here. And see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye-bye, everybody.